I was done. Every morning felt like war. My eyes would flutter open to the same grey ceiling, and I'd feel the weight settle on my chest before I even moved. It was as if the night had pressed its darkness into my bones, and the idea of facing another day felt impossible. Every night, before I closed my eyes, I'd pray not to wake up, just wishing for peace, for silence. Yet somehow, I'm still here, not just surviving, but thriving. This is my story, and maybe, just maybe, it can become yours too. Depression isn't just sadness. It's not the kind of thing you can shake off with a joke or distract yourself from with a movie. It's a silence that swallows you whole. Imagine waking up and feeling nothing. Not anger, not joy, not even pain. Just an emptiness so deep it echoes. I remember faking smiles, not because I wanted to pretend I was happy, but because it was easier than explaining why I wasn't. It's choosing silence because the words are too heavy, too complicated, too painful to let out. I started losing friends, not because they didn't care, but because I stopped answering their calls, stopped replying to their messages. The pile of unread texts grew, and every time my phone buzzed, it felt like a reminder of the world I was slipping away from. I couldn't find a reason to get out of bed. Even breathing, something I'd done unconsciously my whole life, suddenly felt like a chore. The dishes piled up in the kitchen sink, stacks of laundry lay untouched, and my room became a reflection of my mind, cluttered, neglected, and dark. But the worst part wasn't the loneliness, the exhaustion, or the weight of it all. The worst part was the belief that I deserved it, that somehow I had brought this on myself, that maybe if I had just been better, tried harder, done more, I wouldn't be here. That's the truth. No one tells you about depression. It doesn't just take away your happiness. It takes away your hope, your self-worth, your very sense of who you are. Change didn't come in one big miracle. There was no sudden flash of inspiration, no one moment that fixed everything. It came in tiny, painful steps. It had started with a single journal entry, a page filled with messy handwriting and raw honesty. It was the first time I'd admitted, even to myself, that I was struggling, that I needed help. One day, I forced myself to take a walk outside. The world felt too bright, too loud, too alive compared to the numbness I carried inside, but with every step, I felt a sliver of possibility. The sun was warm on my skin, the air fresh in my lungs. I took one deep breath and whispered to myself, "Not today. Depression. Not today." It didn't make everything better, but it was a start. I realized, slowly and painfully, that no one was coming to save me. No hero was going to sweep in and rescue me from myself. So I became my own rescue story. I learned to be gentle with my progress, to celebrate every small step forward. Healing wasn't pretty, it was messy, and there were setbacks, but it was possible. There were days I slipped back into the darkness, days when the weight felt unbearable. But I learned to lean into those moments, to let myself feel without judgment. Journaling became a lifeline. So did prayer, meditation, and allowing myself to hope just a little bit that things could change. My comeback wasn't about going back to who I used to be. It was about becoming who I was meant to become. Stronger, wiser, softer, but unbreakable. I started going to the gym, not just for my body, but for my mind. Every drop of sweat was a reminder that I was still fighting. I went to therapy. I learned that asking for help wasn't weakness. It was courage. I started creating content, sharing my story, and reaching out to others who felt alone. Helping others became a turning point. When I spoke my truth, people reached out. They told me, I feel the same way, or I thought I was the only one. I realized that my pain, as deep and as real as it was, could become a bridge to someone else's healing. Today I speak so others know, you're not alone. You're not broken. And this moment right now is the start of your comeback. If you're in that dark place, I see you. I was you. I know what it's like to feel invisible, to believe that things will never get better. But I need you to know, you will rise again. Healing is possible. Growth is possible. Purpose is possible. The darkness you're in now isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a new chapter. So take one small step. Write a sentence in a journal. Step outside and let the sun touch your skin. Breathe deeply and remind yourself, not today. Depression, not today. And if you can, reach out to someone. You don't have to do this alone. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes, all it takes is one voice to remind us that hope is real. Subscribe if you're ready for healing, growth, and purpose. This community is here for you, cheering for you, believing in you. You are not your pain. You are your potential. You are the comeback story that someone else is waiting to hear. And if you hold on, if you keep fighting, the day will come when you look back and realize you didn't just survive. You transformed. You became who you were always meant to be. And that is the truth no one tells you. But it's the truth you deserve to know.